Hey, Cows Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NJPW G1 Night 18, the final night of block action, August 16th, 2022. So after a month-long journey across Japan, the Nippon Budokan sees its first of a three-night triple header here, August 16th, with the last league matches in theory sees 4 block winners determined, but we may have the opportunities for playoff matches to happen. So a lot's going to happen here. Weirdly, the main event is not Jay White against Tonga like I thought it was. That match will be 6 out of 8. All the matches out of the league. All the matches are league matches tonight, 8 of them in total, with 7 of them still having stakes. The only one without stakes it's probably the last ever G1 match for Tomohiro Ishii, so that one even is special as well. So weirdly, they also made the start order perfectly, going from D block to C block to B to A, ending with A block. And in the main event, Okada and Lance Archer will be in the main event. So with so many different things being able to happen tonight on the final night of G1 league action, with 2 nights of semifinals and finals to come right after it in a row, we might get a 7-way tie in D block action, or we have a triple threat option as well in C block. So let's see if that'll also be added to tomorrow's event if any of those playoff scenarios happen. When we start in D block, where that's the only one that can end in a 7-way tie, strangely, it could be everybody at 3-3. If ELP, El Phantasmo, and Juice Robinson win their matches tonight in the A block, these first 2 matches of the night, it will be a 7-way tie. I know a lot of people around the world were either didn't want that kind of chaos inside of New Japan, or just wanted the chaos like I did. I wanted the tie. So we'll start the night off in D block action, like I said. Juice Robinson against Will Ospreay, one of the favorites coming in to win the group. So Will Ospreay has to win this match and hope that Shingo Takagi loses in the next match against ELP El Phantasmo. So Ospreay needs the win and a Shingo loss to win the group tonight. Otherwise, if they both lose, it'll still be a 7-way tie. Juice Robinson, like I said, needs that tie. The chaotic D blocking G1 Climax 32 started with a big win for Juice Robinson over a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in Shingo. As the wild situation unfolded, that was in Shingo's hometown too. Robinson would undergo a mid-campaign slump after losing the David Finlay that cost him to lose basically the next 2 matches in a row. Then he got a fluke win over ELP, where ELP accidentally got disqualified. Juice finally struck a Nagano, delivering a pile driver hard on the floor, right on Will Ospreay, and a sneak attack from behind before this match in Nagano. So the IWGP United States Championship belt was also snatched back by from Will Ospreay to Juice Robinson. If you remember that whole fiasco where Will Ospreay won the United States title, Juice Robinson was the current champion and couldn't make it because of appendicitis. So he kept a hold of the belt and was never letting go. But when David Finlay beat Juice Robinson within G1 here, he knew that David Finlay took the belt and knew that he had Will Ospreay next. David Finlay also beat Will Ospreay, but he returned the belt, just like, here's the belt, here it is. Then Juice Robinson now stole it back. And also David Finlay is now lost his last 2 matches after leading the D block, and that's why David Finlay's also open for the 7-way scenario, or David Finlay's out after leading D block with he only needed 2 points out of his final 2 matches, and he might not have done it. Well, we know that David Finlay got 0. So anyway, no preliminary matches tonight. We just jump right into the deep end. Chase Owens is on commentary tonight, and so is Chris. So we get live translations in the main event if needed. So Chase Owens is on commentary. He did pretty good all night. It seemed like he's friends with Kevin Kelly, so there was a lot of conversation. Like they were friends, and they all kind of seemed friendly, like a 3-person conversation. So it actually worked kind of well. And I was kind of locked into the action anyway, so I didn't really need too much. Like some people might have thought it was too conversational, but I thought it was good, and it went with the action pretty well. So anyway, Juice Robinson comes out first, and he's not holding the IWGP US title, so maybe he left it behind or something. So Will Ospreay couldn't take it back. Anyway, Will Ospreay, before Juice Robinson can even leave the ring, I mean the entrance ramp here, And remember, this is the first match of the night. We're used to so many matches, like starting with a bunch of preliminary tags and stuff like that. But no, we're jumping right in the deep end. Everything on the line in D block. Will Ospreay has to get a win, and so does Juice. He needs a win and help from later on to get a tie. So everybody's still involved. Will Ospreay is now jumping Juice from behind, and that's how we start this event. Crazy, that's wild stuff right there. So Will has to win and hope Shingo loses later. Juice needs to keep the 7-way tie alive. So this is also almost like an unofficial IWGP US title match, although the title's not here as of yet. So we haven't seen the title anyway. Spoiler alert. We see it later. So Juice then stole the belt back yesterday, like I said. The bell rings and they get in the ring after a little bit of brawling on the outside, but once they get in, the bell rings. Will Ospreay dives back to the outside, right onto Juice Robinson with a beautiful looking Fosbury flop. Then Will hits a big chop and is able to jump right over the barricade when Juice wanted to throw him into it. But when Juice tries to jump over the barricade, like onto like a spring attack move, maybe a phenomenal forearm or something, Juice knocks him off hard. Will Ospreay hits into the barricade hard on his ribs. So then Juice hits a nasty looking neck breaker right across the barricade. Will's neck snapped off that metal. It was looking nasty. That was awful looking. So Will Ospreay doesn't even have his t-shirt off yet. Remember he did the sneak attack at the beginning, but now he takes it off in the ring. But now Juice works a cravat on that injured neck that he just hit on the barricade. Will's screaming out in pain because that was a bad shot on the barricade. Will then gets out of this and hits a nasty forearm here and a spring attack right after. So Ospreay can get right back into the game here. Juice rolls out of the ring, and then Will hits a nice plancha, taking Juice outside of the ring. The crowd's super loud for this one, and they're ready for an amazing night. And I was definitely ready for that too. So this is going to be a great night. Juice is able to knock Will off the apron here. Juice then looks for a pile driver on the apron, but Will Ospreay blocks it and hits a big kick. Juice then counters an attack trying to hit Pulp Friction on the apron, but Will Ospreay blocks that, then flips over the corner onto one of the other aprons and hits a power bomb on Juice onto the apron once he after like a bunch of cool stuff happens there with flipping and stuff from Ospreay. Ospreay then hits a nasty top rope forearm from right behind. Juice didn't even see it coming back to the back of the neck. So if Will is going to go on to win the entire thing, he's going to have to win 3 matches in 3 straight days. Same with everyone else that has a match tonight and plans to go to the semifinals. They'll have to win 3 matches in 3 days at the end of a grueling month-long tournament. So basically everybody that's still alive, other than if there's a 7-way tie, fights tonight. So it's looking like whoever is going to win G1 has to win at the end of the month-long tournament 3 matches in a row. So going back to this match, Ospreay now is attempting a 450 splash here, big moment, but Juice blocks it with his knees. Juice then hits a gutbuster right after, getting a 2 count, but that one was close. Will's in trouble now, and he's able to block a Pulp Friction attempt. Will then hits a shotgun drop kick that also knocks down the referee. Juice goes down as well, so Juice counters a Chelsea Grin attempt from Ospreay with a low blow because he knows the referee's down. Juice then goes right under the ring, and now we see the United States title that was hidden under there. The referee still knocked down, but Will Ospreay is able to duck under the belt shot here and then hit a hook kick on Juice as he comes back around. Ospreay charges in, but then Juice counters this with the U.S. title to the face of Ospreay. The referee is hurt, and he gets up to make the count, but it's a slow count. The referee was too hurt. Will Ospreay is able to kick out in time from the belt shot. Juice then has the floor exposed from earlier outside the ring and hits a nasty looking pile driver, hitting Will Ospreay hard into the concrete floor. Back into the ring now. Juice hits Pulp Friction, but somehow Will Ospreay finds it in his heart to keep his G1 hopes alive here, kicking out. I thought it was over there. And Will Ospreay then blocks a rock slide attempt right after that. Then Will gets a pin for a 2 count. That almost won the match right there. Juice hits a left-handed God punch, but Chelsea Grin is able to be done by Ospreay before he falls. So wow. And then, oh man, Ospreay gets up, hits the hidden blade. Damn it. The winner of this match, you already know it was a 1-2-3, and it's the winner by pinfall, Will Ospreay. Come on, New Japan. Why would you tease us with the 7-way tie just to get to the last 2 matches and then take it away from us on the 18th and final day? That's a little disappointing there. I just wanted the chaos for the 7-way tie. So they kind of ruined the fun in the very first match here, but I was sure they would be able to get it back through some good wrestling. And yeah, I mean, it didn't ruin the event. It was just kind of disappointing that we got teased the 7-way tie and then it just never happened. It's a little disappointing, but what are you going to do? Will Ospreay then moves on. He still has to hope that Shingo can lose in the very next match, so he doesn't have to wait long. Big win there. Hitting the he got hit with the left-handed guy, but was able to hit the Chelsea Grin and then the hidden blade right after. So, whew. Um, I guess normal G1 coverage resumes now. No 7-way ties to think about. So it should be an eventful, great night anyway. Still, like I said, the very next match will decide D block. It's either going to be Will Ospreay or Shingo. Two of the best in the world currently. So poor David Finlay is now eliminated with everybody else other than Ospreay and Shingo. All David Finlay needed was 2 points in his final 2 matches. Just couldn't get it done. But a great showing from the young David Finlay in his first ever G1. So we'll just get right into it. The second match of the night is in D block. Shingo Takagi taking on El Phantasmo. Shingo's 3-2. El Phantasmo's 2-3. But El Phantasmo now knows that it's no longer an option for him to stay alive if he wins. But they have had a kind of little bit of a rivalry, trash talk rivalry going on. El Phantasmo will definitely want to be the one to make sure Shingo doesn't get, or to make sure Shingo gets eliminated. So this is definitely a big one. Phantasmo had campaigned for this closer to be the main event in the Budokan, but they chose the format as we saw here. So this is going to be a good one. ELP comes out first, knowing that he just got eliminated a minute ago. Unfortunately, Juice Robinson couldn't hold up his end of the bargain. The 7-way tie is out the window. So ELP is still going to want to beat Shingo after all the talking the trash throughout the entire tournament, because Shingo talked some trash before the tournament started about ELP going from the junior heavyweight to the heavyweight, just like Shingo did. So that's why ELP's been eating cheeseburgers after every single match on the backstage comments. So Shingo comes out next, knowing all he needs to do here is win, and he wins the block. So a draw or an ELP win will give the win that Will Ospreay here. So this should be interesting. ELP then ducks under the first strike here, but Shingo hits a shoulder tackle. ELP tries to leap over, but Shingo catches him, and maybe it was going to be a rolling DVD or something. Maybe even lasted the dragon here, but ELP gets out of that. Then drop kicks Shingo right out of the ring. ELP then does a double springboard dive to the outside. That was looking awesome. Outside of the ring now, ELP hits a chop. Then Shingo grabs the leg on the apron. He knows that ELP was going for the Asai moonsault, but then a massive kick to the arm of Shingo, and ELP is able to hit the Asai moonsault, but it was so big he just jumps right over Shingo on accident. Shingo just barely was able to get an arm on him, or it barely broke his fall, but ELP kind of just floated over to his feet. He was fine. Back in the ring now, ELP, it's a slingshot senton to get in, but Shingo has a boot up to block a top rope attack right after that. Shingo then hits a striking combo, knocking ELP down. Shingo has a corner lariat and multiple strikes, but ELP gets out, hitting a back rake. Of course, Shingo then answers right back with a two-handed chop and a big crushing senton on the ribs. Shingo then hits a let's go, but ELP kicks him really hard, blocking that attack, or fire up, I should say. Shingo then blocks a CR2 attempt, one of the finishers of ELP, with a backdrop here. Shingo's blocking the finisher. ELP quickens the pace and then hits a springboard attack. Right after that, Shingo evades I don't know what I wrote there, but he invades something and then a big punch on ELP. So then a nasty Death Valley driver on the outside of the floor has ELP in big trouble here, right on the outside of the ring. So back in the ring now, ELP just barely kicks out. Shingo then hits a corner lariat, but ELP fires up, hitting an enziguri. That looked nice as well. Good crisp wrestling in this match, almost like a junior heavyweight style, but with some power moves as well. You know what I mean. So ELP gets up and they exchange punches right after Shingo hit a sliding lariat. I forgot to mention that. They exchange punches now. Shingo wins the punching exchange with a big DDT. So both men use this time to recover now. Shingo then goes on the attack, hot-shotting ELP across the ropes. They both fight on the ropes now, in the corner on the ropes, but ELP gets off and hit his kick. climbs back up with Shingo, and ELP hits a top rope Hurricane Rana. ELP then goes back to the top rope, hitting the Thunder Kiss 86 splash, but Shingo's able to kick out at 2, keeping his G1 hopes alive. Almost Will Ospreay won the block there. So good match so far. 2 good matches to start this event. Shingo then blocks CR2, one of the finishers again, counters another CR2 attempt right after that with the Hurricane Rana himself from Shingo, then hits Nogashimi, which I don't remember what that was, but a bomber lariat right after that has ELP rocked, but ELP is able to kick out, and he really wants to be the one to eliminate Shingo, like I said, with all the trash talk. ELP then counters the next move, but Shingo hits a pop-up Death Valley driver. ELP is just barely able to get up from that, and then Shingo unloads big elbow strikes, bam, bam, bam. Now ELP hits CR2, and I figured that ELP would hit CR2 at some point because, of course, Shingo kicks out of the CR2 here. Big moment. But after that happens, now I think anything could happen. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I knew he would kick out of that. Everyone did. So now ELP hits another finisher. I mean, if he hits another finisher, could he win? So ELP tunes up the band, looking for the sweet chin music, sudden death. But Shingo counters sudden death. ELP hits sudden death anyway. But ELP then hits a nasty pile driver, and ELP gets the 1-2-3 with that pile driver. Holy crap, the winner of this match by pinfall, El Phantasmo. That is kind of shocking right there. Everyone was thinking it was probably going to be Shingo against Naito tomorrow in the semifinals, but nope. Now maybe Naito won't even get through his block either, because that's what we were thinking. Maybe it's not going to be Naito. Now that it is officially not Shingo, winning D block is Will Ospreay. Wow, after he lost to Shingo and he lost to David Finlay as well. So that's pretty wild right there. Really good match here. ELP definitely showing that he can hang with the heavyweights. ELP even talked some trash. El Desperado was on Japanese commentary, and he told the junior heavyweight goodbye forever. Basically ELP saying he's going to be a heavyweight from now on. So that's crazy. We got to decide C block next. That'll be the opponent for Will Ospreay tomorrow. So it could end up being a triple threat match to decide C block before that Will Ospreay match. So we'll decide that next in the 2 C block matches, but it could still be a triple threat match tomorrow as well, depending on what happens. Anyway, this match was really good. Everyone knew he was going to kick out of 1 CR2. This pile driver is now named the CR3, by the way, and it was a kind of nasty looking pile driver. And when I saw it hit, I knew it was over. That was how devastating that finisher was. So Shingo, really, really good G1, but unfortunate for him, can't make it to the semifinals. And unfortunate for everybody, we didn't get the 7-way tie. Damn it. So anyway, we start the C block action now. Goto must win this match. It'll be Hirooki Goto against Evil, who's already eliminated. Hirooki Goto's at 3-2 and has a singles deficit with Evil. Evil has 4 wins to only 3 Goto losses. So Evil's mathematically eliminated. Like I said, Goto has to win this and have Zack Sabre Jr. lose against Naito in the next match. That would force a triple threat match. So if Goto wins and Naito wins in these next 2 matches, it's a triple threat. If Goto loses this match, he's out. If Goto wins this match and Zack Sabre Jr. wins, Goto's out. Zack Sabre Jr. is the champion of this block. So 14 years after his one and only G1 win in his debut year for Goto, and 6 years since he even made the final, Goto has banned himself from using the G and G1 catchphrase this year. And with all the motivation coming from his son, who drove him to be his son wants him to be G1 champion, AEW world champion, and IWGP world champion. So lofty goals there from the son. We were telling the story about how Goto hadn't even met his current wife when he won his one and only G1 14 years ago, let alone his son wasn't born yet. So that's good motivation for anybody right there. But after a humiliation inside of just 1 minute at the hands of Zack Sabre Jr., Evil's going to come into this match really angry and looking to take everyone and anyone out. So you never know what kind of tricks House of Torture have up their sleeve. Can Goto keep shining his light after even Tanahashi was giving him, talking some trash, basically saying like, oh, if I was you, Goto, I would have went insane because you were just such a failure. You couldn't shine your light like me. Like, Tanahashi ended up losing the Goto because that was karma for talking trash to that. That's why Goto's still in the hunt, and Tanahashi is already eliminated from this block after his loss to Kenta on Sunday. So Goto makes his entrance, and Evil attacks him from right behind. So what the heck? 2 out of the first 3 matches start the same way, with a Bullet Club member attacking someone from behind on their entrance. So maybe they were running long on time. Maybe they wanted to cut some time off the entrances here. Maybe they had some long matches later on planned. I don't know what they were thinking, but 2 out of the first 3 matches start with someone else, the first person coming out and getting jumped. So the bell rings when Goto is able to take control and get the fight back in the ring. So Goto didn't get attacked too much on that one. But now Dick Togo, of course, has accompanied Evil to the ring, and Dick Togo grabs Goto's leg while the referee wasn't looking. So Evil uses his t-shirt on a throat over the throat of Goto. Then Goto fires up with some overhand chops. Dick Togo has taken the turnbuckle pad off, and Goto gets thrown into the exposed steel that he didn't know was exposed. Then Goto's able to counter the next attack, hitting a lariat, buying him a little bit of time to recover from that shot. Evil then hits a punch, but Goto answers right back with a big shoulder tackle. Evil sends Goto right out of the ring, and then Goto tries to attack. Togo tries to attack Goto, but Togo gets sent through the barricade. Good shot there by Goto against Dick Togo. So then the Evil pulls Fujita, who was one of the people, or he was the guy that dressed up as Zack Sabre Jr. in Evil's 44-second loss, where he thought Fujita was Zack Sabre Jr. So he pulls Fujita here to block the attack, and that lets Evil hit a DDT on the hardwood floor on the outside on Goto. Evil goes back in looking for a count out. Goto's about to get in at about 15 on a 20 count, but Goto's able to or Dick Togo under the ring holds on the Goto's foot, and Goto's just barely able to kick Togo off while getting in with 1 second left. Evil right back in the ring now, hits Darkness Falls, but Goto has the power of his family and his heart to kick out at 2 on that one. Goto then blocks everything's Evil, and Goto hits a one-man Shoto in the using the ropes to assist him here, draping style. Then Goto fires up and lines up for a stiff hits the stiff chest kick. Then Goto hits an Ushiguroi, fires up even more, but Evil blocks the GTR attempt by raking the eyes, of course. The referee now gets knocked down again. Speaking of course, the referee's now down. So Dick Togo comes right in, but Goto's able to block the Magic Killer attempt. Somehow Goto uses Dick Togo as a base to hit the Magic Killer on Evil. That was pretty cool. I have no idea how, but either way, Goto then hits GTW, but Evil is able to kick out at 2. Evil then grabs the referee, and Togo hits a low blow behind the referee's back. Evil hits everything is Evil, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall is Evil. Damn, there goes our chances for any playoff matches tomorrow before the semifinals. Goto has been eliminated with the House of Torture tactics, kind of proving Tanahashi right in the end. Damn it. Anyway, because the other 2 blocks that we still have to decide can't have a tie, and this one can no longer be a triple threat, no playoff matches tomorrow. It also makes the next match that we're about to have winner take all, but Zack Sabre Jr. can play for a draw in this next match, just like the winner take all match later on, Jay White against Tama Tonga. Jay White can look for the time limit draw as well in that one. But either way, it's going to be Tetsuya Naito against Zack Sabre Jr. If anybody wins this match, they win the block. If it's a draw, Zack Sabre Jr. wins the block. So singles record is tied at 4-4. Tetsuya Naito comes in at 3-2. Zack Sabre Jr. 4-1, with only the controversial loss to Tanahashi, where he had his foot or arm, one of the two, a limb was under the ropes on the pinfall. So anyway, Tetsuya Naito's G1 started with his back against the wall with a pair of losses to Tanahashi and Goto that threatened to put him right out of the running before it was even halfway through. Yet ever the comeback king, Naito may be in control of his own destino by the end of this match, which he is now that Goto lost. So there's no more chance for a tie or anything like that. So it's definitely going to be a good one here. Zack Sabre Jr. beat Naito in the New Japan Cup this year, so Zack Sabre Jr. is going for the double. No one's ever won the New Japan Cup and the G1, and Zack Sabre Jr. already said that he wants to if he wins, he's not going to take his title shot at Wrestle Kingdom. He wants it at the England show in October, which was just announced earlier in I forget what it's called, but it's going to be like October 1st or 2nd. So Zack Sabre Jr. comes out first looking cocky and confident as ever. Zack talks trash to everyone who will listen on his way to the ring. Then Naito comes out looking super focused, wearing his best suit. It'll be interesting to see if Zack takes a cheap shot early to try and get Naito caught in the suit or not, because Zack would love to work his submission holds against Naito while he still has a suit to grab onto. So this is a giant winner take all match here. Zack gets right in Naito's face right away, but then gives Naito space. So this ends up being a pretty long segment here. Zack Sabre Jr. does let Naito take all his stuff off, but Naito takes everything off slowly, then throws like his shirt and then his belt and then eventually his pants all at Zack's face, trying to make Zack mad, trying to get under Zack's skin. But Zack has been saying that he doesn't want to, he's a changed man, he's mature, I'm not going to let you get under my skin. So anyway, Zack just takes it all here. Eventually Naito like fakes doing a cheap shot before throwing his pants around the neck, and that gets Zack Sabre Jr. to hit a big kick, and we're underway here on this match. So Naito then goes to the corner. Zack shoves the referee twice here while doing corner attacks, risking referee disqualifying him, but banking on the fact that the referee wouldn't dare disqualify him in the beginning of the match here. So the gamble pays off a little bit here because he doesn't get disqualified, but I don't think it was worth the risk in my opinion. Maybe Zack Sabre Jr. was a little more rattled than he showed from Naito throwing all his garment, all his suit and pants at him. So Naito then rolls out of the ring and takes control right back in the ring, hitting a Manhattan drop and a jackknife roll up for a pin, only for a 2 count though. Naito counters this into a pin himself. Both men now try pins back and forth, and then Zack gets a bridging pin that he beat Evil with in 44 seconds, but Naito's able to get out. Then Naito counters a Zack driver, going for the Zack driver already. Naito counters that into a roll up for the 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Tetsuya Naito, in 2.5 minutes. Naito has won C Block after losing his first 2 matches. He has successfully gotten Zack Sabre Jr. off his game. Remember, Zack Sabre Jr. almost got disqualified twice in the first minute. Then he's going for the Zack driver already, which is a big finishing maneuver on a fresh Naito who was just easily able to roll it up into something that Zack couldn't kick out in 3 seconds. This match is over in 2.5 minutes. Naito wins the block. Wow. I couldn't believe it. Zack Sabre Jr. absolutely loses his mind. He throws tables and chairs. Zack goes after Naito with a chair, but Naito's able to get away. What am I witnessing? What did I just witness? What am I still witnessing? Zack chases Naito around, but Naito won't let him catch him. Zack goes after the Young Lions with a chair, but they run away too. So Zack sets up a table ringside, then pounds it back and forth with a chair. It won't break though. So now Nakashima, the Young Lion, gets punched in the face. Zack then throws the ring bell around, almost destroying everything at ringside. The announcers then say, what an embarrassing display from one of the best wrestlers in the world. Naito then comes back over, taunting Zack with ice bags. So Naito successfully got Zack completely off his game by throwing all his like suit and stuff in him. I don't know why Zack didn't just attack him while the suit was still on. It would have made the match would have started and he would have had Naito in a suit where he could have probably applied like a triangle choke or something and got a quick win. Anyway, Zack Sabre Jr. thought he was doing the right thing by just taking all the abuse, but in the end, it caused him to boil up in anger even more than he should have been. Almost got DQ'd in the first 30 seconds, eventually losing in 2.5 minutes. So, that's crazy. So it will be for the first, as if that's not just wild enough, for the first time ever tomorrow night, Tetsuya Naito takes on Will Ospreay, first time ever singles match. Holy crap. Maybe the main event, but who knows? It's going to be a double main event either way with 2 semifinals. Who cares who gets the last match? Holy crap. That match tomorrow is going to be awesome. But this match was so wild that we just witnessed. I will never, ever forget this Zack Sabre Jr. Naito match, along with all the aftermatch math on the chaos on the outside after the match. So where does Zack Sabre Jr. go from here? Because he just can't seem to get past that. We've seen him win the New Japan Cup before, but I don't think Zack Sabre Jr.'s ever won any singles gold. I think the only titles he's been holding around to here is like tag titles, 6 man tags, and the British heavyweight title. So what does Zack Sabre Jr. have to do to prove himself to win some titles around here? because in my opinion, he's one of the best. Here's what I would do after watching that display we just watched, where Zack Sabre Jr. went crazy on the outside. Maybe you can turn him even more into like a Minoru Suzuki type character who just attacks everybody at ringside and is a berserker. You could maybe even, we saw it during this G1, give Zack Sabre Jr. the Iron Claw from Hell that Izuki had, and then would turn Zack Sabre Jr. into a berserk mode version of himself, but he could still have all the technical wrestling and the submissions as well. But it's a berserk version of Zack that version of Zack would have definitely attacked Naito when he still had the suit on. So maybe it would risk a little disqualifications here and there, and that's how you could explain Zack Sabre Jr. losing matches by DQs. But in the meantime, I think that might be just that. Clearly, Zack Sabre Jr., we all think he's amazing, but New Japan doesn't want to give him like the world heavyweight title or anything. Like they saw Will Ospreay as someone they could give that title to, but seemingly not Zack Sabre Jr. So maybe if Zack Sabre Jr. turns into some kind of Izuki, Minoru Suzuki, Azuka, Iron Claw from Hell, Berserker, submission master, I don't know. Maybe I'm just fantasy booking, but seems like Zack Sabre Jr. has to do something. We think he's hilarious. We all like love Zack Sabre Jr.'s like backstage comments and all that. Maybe Japan hates that part of Zack Sabre Jr. or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's not big enough or he doesn't have. I mean, he's even it made his strikes even harder. So it's kind of hard, but after all that wildness, it is time for the intermission here. So they just perfectly made it 4 matches and then 4 matches. So when we come back, we'll have Tomohiro Ishii's final G1 match potentially. I mean, it's not set in stone that he didn't say it was his final match, but right after that match is what I consider the main event. It'll be Jay White against Tama Tonga for the B block winner. And then the final 2 matches, Bad Luck Fale against JONAH, where JONAH needs the win and hope for a miracle because even if Archer wins, he might own the tiebreaker on JONAH. That's what we're thinking anyway. So there was a little confusion in this one. But anyway, JONAH needs a win. And then basically the main event is Okada and Lance Archer, where the winner is probably just going to go through even if JONAH wins. We weren't quite sure if like there was going to be a 3-way. JONAH was seemingly thinking there was a 3-way at a point, but we'll find out anyway. So 2 winner take all matches and then maybe a 2 lame duck matches, but it should be a little weird how they set up everything tonight, but they did it in order. So I got the vibe that this was like a WWE way to stack the card. Like the second to last match is kind of a burner match between the 2 winner take all ones. And then we're going to start here. Tomohiro Ishii versus SANADA is the 5th match of the night. Both men are eliminated. Tomohiro Ishii in 1-4 might go to 1-5 with a loss. So there's no doubt that Ishii and SANADA both are coming out of G1 Climax dealing with considerable disappointment, while SANADA's 3-2 record would have him competitive in other blocks. Jay White's dominance in B block has put him out of the running already. So now he has to find another way to carve his narrative after winning the United States title, but then hurting his eye along the way. So while New Japan strong, we'll see him focus in Las Vegas for Ishii in September. A key element to the rest of his year and the future prospects here hang in balance on this match for G1 Climax 33. So Ishii comes out first and then SANADA, and they start a super fast-paced counter, everything back and forth in this match. Amazing start to this match here with Ishii and SANADA. So then SANADA gets a roll up, almost wins it right away. Then Ishii gets a backdrop suplex, and wow, what a start! This is definitely unlike any other New Japan show we've seen. Now we like think every little pinfall means so much more because you think the matches could end at any point from what we've already witnessed tonight. So that'll really help not just this match, but the 2 big winner take all matches later on. It'll have us biting on every little pinfall and stuff like that. So Ishii and SANADA now get up and exchange strikes. Ishii doesn't says that doesn't hurt. He says over to SANADA because we had live translations tonight. So then Ishii then traps SANADA in the corner, just stepping forward, absorbing each strike as he gets it. Ishii then loads a huge combo in the corner, then paintbrushes SANADA to fire SANADA up even more. But this fires up Ishii, who knocks him down to a knee as well with one big shot of strike here. So SANADA blocks a suplex after that, then does 2 leapfrogs in a row and a big drop kick. The fight spills out of the ring, and SANADA counters a suplex into a magic screw, dropping Ishii off the apron as a draping apron into the outside of the ring mat. So SANADA rolls him back in, fires up the crowd a little bit before getting in and hitting a springboard drop kick. SANADA did, but Ishii counters a move and applies the Dragon Sleeper, which is SANADA's finisher, but SANADA's able to suplex his way out of this hold, which is one of Ishii's trademark suplexing things there. Nice little spot there. Anyway, they reset, and then SANADA flips over an attack. Ishii crushes SANADA, though, with a lariat. Then SANADA gets a backdrop suplex. Ishii gets right up to this, hitting a German suplex. So both men are now out to prove a point in this match. They've both been eliminated, but they're not going to go down easy in this one. So SANADA blocks a power bomb attempt, but Ishii blocks a Ishii blocks a drop kick right after that. Then SANADA evades a sliding lariat, and SANADA does a sick-looking arm trap lift. Like he lifted Ishii off the ground with his arm, then hit a dragon screw right after that. So that looked pretty cool. Great from SANADA. Ishii's now able to kick out of this, but it's holding onto his shoulder, and then SANADA applies the. It might have been a dragon suplex. I feel like that wasn't a dragon screw. It might have been a dragon suplex right off like deadlift from an arm position, but that was pretty sweet. Anyway, SANADA applies the skull and dragon sleeper, and Ishii's in big trouble now. He's stuck in the middle of the ring. The crowd's cheering for Ishii to keep fighting. So SANADA actually lets go himself here. Maybe he thought Ishii was breaking the hold, but it turns out to be a mistake. The moonsault attempt from SANADA is rolled out of the way from Ishii. So otherwise, that might have been a little bit of a mistake, but he thought maybe Ishii was about to break the hold. Both men struggle to get to their feet. Ishii hits a headbutt, but SANADA does a spring kick right after that. They exchange stares. Then Ishii hits a drop kick of his own. Ishii fires up big time here, hitting a huge lariat. SANADA's just barely able to kick out. Really good match here. So SANADA then blocks a brainbuster attempt, and SANADA tilt-the-whirls behind Ishii, then applying the skull end. That looked awesome. But Ishii's able to power out of this, hitting a DDT. They made it really close here with a pinfall. And then it looked like SANADA surprised at the end, but Ishii gets up. SANADA then applies the skull end again, this time from a Destino type position, flipping over Ishii. But Ishii gets out of this again, countering each. They counter each other back and forth here, but SANADA gets another pin attempt. They keep looking for quick pins, but Ishii barely gets out of this one. Ishii then hits a nasty looking dragon suplex, but SANADA pops right up, hitting a tiger suplex. Ishii then gets right up from that, hitting a big lariat, almost winning the match. Ishii then picks up SANADA, hitting the vertical drop brainbuster and getting the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall. Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii maybe in his final G1 match, but I definitely it's an emotional moment for everyone in the ring. It kind of looks like Ishii expects it. Ishii says something over to SANADA. It seemed like it was heartfelt and emotional. So, but I would say I hope it's not, unless it's a health issue, which I don't want him to fight through pain. Like Ishii takes so much damn damage, and he has been for so long. Ishii always gives it all, and really never has like a terrible match. Unlike 4, maybe 5 of the other G1 regulars. Looking at you, Bad Luck Fale and Yujiro. So definitely would rather have those guys get kicked out before like Tomohiro Ishii. But if it's Tomohiro Ishii's health is what doesn't want him to be in it, like if he's willing to do it, then I guess it's up to New Japan. Somebody has to check on his health at a point too. So it's tough to think about, but it could be that we just witnessed Tomohiro Ishii's final match, and it was great if it was his final match. So here we go. It's time for the one match I circled when we first got all the schedules announced, and I saw that it was Tama Tonga versus Jay White on the final night. You can go back and listen all the way to my reviews of New Japan Road before G1 started, that I figured it was going to be down to everything here. And I had been calling for the entire time. I thought Tama Tonga would win. So let's see if that happens. I was more of a question mark now, that because I didn't think Jay White was coming into this match undefeated at 5-0. That's pretty wild. So Tama Tonga having a great G1 as well, 4-1. His only loss was to, oh man, why can't I remember now? No, I can't remember. Sorry, but anyway, this is a situation where Jay White could try and draw the clock all the way to 30 minutes. A tie would give the block to Jay White. We did see Jay White fake having heat stroke so that he could take off a couple of Hiroshima events that he didn't have any league matches in. So last week, Jay White got 6 days of rest in a row, where everyone else had 2 nights of events during that 6 days. So I'm super excited for this one. Tama Tonga comes out first, accompanied by Jado, and then Jay White comes out accompanied by Goto. So Jado and Goto on the outside, longtime partners, now rivals as well. So this one has a little bit of everything. I was thinking, wow, it could like even more family members show up, like maybe Hikuleu, who joined or stayed in Bullet Club despite his brothers being kicked out, the Gorillas of Destiny. So that would be shocking if that's something they wanted to do to end this match. I know that's a little too WWE Sports Entertainment, but you never know. So I was thinking anything could happen in this match. Let me just get a quick drink real quick, but I was definitely just like expecting anything, and I was really excited about it. All right, with everything on the line, B block, winner take all. So so Jay White's Jay White tries to leave the ring right away, but Tama Tonga gets a hold of it, and Tama just goes nuts right at the beginning here with a bunch of strikes in the corner. Jay counters it, reversing it, I should say, hitting a few corners himself in the corner, but Tama reverses it, hitting a bunch of corner strikes. So Jay White taking about 20 strikes in the first 20 seconds here. Pretty great start for Tama Tonga. Jay rolls out of the ring, but Tama goes right outside of the ring and hits a back body drop on Jay on the outside. Tama then charges in, but Goto pulls Jado out of the ring. I guess maybe they weren't out of the ring yet. So Goto is able to pull Jay out of the ring here. Tama goes outside and gets Goto to back off. So then Jay counters an attack and sends Tama's head really hard into the ring post. Big shot there, and Tama Tonga is dazed. So Jay hits a front suplex onto the apron, ribs first on Tama. Jay rolls Tama back in the match, and then we have a good pace to this match, especially for a Jay White match. This more favors Tama Tonga's quick pace style. We got a complete style clash here. Tama Tonga loves the quick pace, and Jay White loves the slow pace. So we'll see how the rest goes, but I mean, spoiler alert, it stays at a pretty good pace. This is a rare Jay White match where it's like really high pace. It's not one of those long drawn out ones. So Jay then attacks, stays on the attack here, hitting a snap suplex right into the turnbuckle. That looks pretty painful on Tama. So Tama's still trying to recover from that ring post shot, let alone all these other ones he gets. And then Jay hits the sleeper suplex already. So every single night on this tour, Jay tries for the sleeper suplex. It's always blocked at least once, usually 2 or 3 times, but right away that shows that the ring post shot on Tama Tonga's head messed him up so much, along with everything else in the tour. Jay White is able to hit the sleeper suplex already. So that was awesome if you picked up on that one. But Tama fires up with Jay hitting some chops. Tama just absorbs all these chops, so Jay is forced to rake him in the eyes. Then hit some more chops, getting Tama to the ground now. Tama wakes up and hits a huge lariat, and only 5 minutes have passed already, so we've got all that action. That's kind of what I was talking about. Really good pace to this match. That's a Tama Tonga pace match. Tama now fires up, hitting a combo that ends with a scoop slam. Tama then hits a huge corner splash and another slam right after that. Jay's able to kick out at 2. So the crowd's clapping big time for Tama to stay on the attack. Tama hits some strikes to the back of Jay's head here, then pulls Jay's hair up, but Jay's able to block the Tonga twist attempt at that point. Jay then gets off onto the apron and hit hot shots Tama across the ropes. Back in the ring, Tama lifts Jay right up, but Jay rakes the eyes again to block whatever was going to happen there. Jay then hits a huge running uppercut. That looks great. Tama then blocks a blade buster attempt, but Jay blocks a Tongan twist again right after that. Jay then is able to hit the blade buster that he wanted, and then Jay keeps the pace quick here, weirdly, and then Tama counters. Jay counters right back and then hits the complete shot. Jay does, followed by the deadlift German, rocking the cradle. So this is definitely why I still like Jay White, despite sometimes thinking his matches are a little slow. I understand what he usually does. But I would like to see Jay White work some matches with like CM Punk and Edge, who are definitely veterans that love those slow paced matches that could still wrestle a really good match. But I still know that Jay White can wrestle these quick paced matches. So anyway, Tom is able to stop this onslaught on him with a DDT. Then Jay blocks the next attack, but Tama hits a stiff kick in return and a rolling DVD right after that, going up to the top rope and hitting the super flow splash here, or the Supreme Flow splash here off the top rope. So 10 minutes have passed now. Tama has 20 minutes to finish off Jay. Jay can get to the 30-minute time limit, remember. Tama's looking to end it now, though, with the gun stun, but Gato, it was blocked. Gato then sees that it's going to be like a sticky situation here. So Jado holds on to Gato here. He's not allowed to help Jay. But like I said, Jay blocks the gun stun and then hits a massive Uranagi slam. Tama Tonga's hurt again. The damage is kind of piling up. So Tama blocks the next move with using his power advantage, but Jay hits a ton of shoulder thrust into Tama's back right after that into the corner. So Jay hits another sleeper suplex right after that and got all of it. It was looking nasty on that one. Tama then blocks the next move. I said that. Tama then blocks a Blade Runner attempt right after that sleeper suplex and then hits the Tongan twist that he's been looking for a while. The crowd gets super loud now and Tama Tonga fires up, but Jay blocks the gun stun again. So Tama blocks a Blade Runner again, and then Tama hits Bloody Sunday, Prince Devitt, the original Bullet Club's finisher. Finn Balor, you might know him as. So Jay White then is just barely able to kick out of this Bloody Sunday. Then Jay hits the sleeper suplex again and tries for the Blade Runner, but Tama blocks the Blade Runner like for the fourth time here. Jay then blocks it like a third or fourth stun gun or a gun stun attempt, but right after that, Tama Tonga hits the gun stun and the referee counts to 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match and the winner of B Block is Tama Tonga. Wow. So Tama Tonga will go to the semifinals tomorrow. Really, really good match here, just like I figured it would be. And he just beat his rival, who just happens to be the world champion. So Tama Tonga has already pretty much got a title shot in the bank. So can Tama Tonga get that title shot at Wrestle Kingdom by winning G1, or will it happen again before that? So Tama Tonga definitely getting revenge for getting kicked out of Bullet Club, and now has a title shot and has a chance to go to the semifinals and win G1 still. So great stuff here. This is exactly what I figured was going to happen because we all kind of knew that Jay White needed an opponent to fight for the title at some event before Wrestle Kingdom, and it seemed to make sense that it would be Tama Tonga. So this one was the fast-paced match. That match, whenever we get it in October, somewhere along there, it's going to be Tama Tonga versus Jay White for the title, and that match is going to be super slow in like 45 minutes. So this is the fast-paced version of it. Not saying that one's better than the other. It's just that's definitely how you can expect that to go. But since Tama Tonga's in it, it's going to be slow, and then all of a sudden, bam, 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 because Tama Tonga has some of the best fast-paced offense in all of New Japan. So Tama Tonga has been in New Japan for over a decade now with a big legitimate chance to win G1. He'll have to wait to see who his opponent in the semifinals tomorrow is going to be. Whoever wins A Block, and that's what we still got. So he'll be watching that. Great stuff here. The Bloody Sunday was one of the cooler parts of the match, but everything in the match kind of clicked for me. I like the pace of it. Really good stuff. So I still think maybe if it is Okada, it might be Okada's year. Still, like the whole story kind of seems to be Okada getting his revenge against Jay White. At Wrestle Kingdom, where it'll probably be the first Wrestle Kingdom that the fans can yell with and speak with their mouths again. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's happened, but we still got to see if Okada can get through tonight, because Lance Archer could ruin that dream later on. But first, Jonah's going to look for a miracle no decision in the main event. If Jonah can win this match and then get a no decision in the main event, Jonah would win. But then there was also a little bit of controversy. Maybe it was just a triple threat. We're not quite sure, but Jonah is going to want to win anyway. So one of the lasting images and memories of G1 Climax 32 was JONAH's incredible victory over Okada, especially with the big torpedo splash to win it. So anything's possible here still. Like I said, JONAH can try and get the no result and still win the block. But anyway, Fale is a veteran, and this is going to be a big hoss battle. So JONAH's almost as they both come out. I forgot which order because I was writing down all the other stuff from the other match, like pumping up the main event. But JONAH is almost as tall as Fale, and they're almost about the same width as well. So they're hitting big boy clubbing blows back and forth here, kind of slowly. Big time slobber knocker hoss fight here. Fale then hits a throat thrust to win the exchange of clubbing blows, but JONAH hits a drop kick that knocks Fale right out of the ring. JONAH then jumps off the apron, hitting a great looking flying shoulder tackle, a 400-pounder going into like a 350-pounder. Holy crap, that looked awesome. Then Chase Owens on commentary distracts JONAH for Fale here, former tag team champions. Fale then is outside of the ring in control. This is exactly what Fale is good at: big clubbing blows and barricade shots on the outside. So JONAH then punches Fale here, who looks badly damaged from a lot of these shots. Doesn't look like this match is going to last long. Every single shot in this match is a super heavyweight shot, and everything is getting them already big damage on each individual shot. So JONAH then hits another strike and throws Fale into the ring post, but Fale gets out of the way and JONAH crashes into the ring post looking for a splash. Back in the ring now, they get with a 1 second to spare, with JONAH falling over at 18, but still getting in at 19. 5 minutes have passed now. Fale hits a corner splash right away, and this is definitely one of the best Fale matches of the year right here. With a big super heavyweight match against JONAH, who just seems to pump out great matches no matter what. So Fale then hits more corner attacks now. JONAH evades one of them, eventually hitting a thrust kick here. JONAH then hits some corner splashes, 3 in a row. JONAH fires up the crowd. They're super loud for him. JONAH's the babyface kind of in this match for sure. They're not rooting for Fale. So Fale then counters a charging JONAH with a massive spear. That takes down JONAH hard on his holding his like ribs now. Fale's hurting his shoulder as well, or his shoulder hurts from that ring post shot earlier. Also, the spear aggravated that injury more. Fale then hits a standing elbow drop, but only getting a 2 count on it. JONAH then counters the grenade attempt and hitting a DDT after kicking Fale in the shin. So then Fale kicks out, but is definitely damaged a lot. JONAH looks for the Black Forest powerbomb, but he can't seem to lift Fale. JONAH hurt his back a little bit too much, holding his back here, but JONAH hits a short arm lariat and the regular lariat right after that. That was nasty looking. Fale then evades another one, but a lariat, but JONAH blocks the grenade attempt again. JONAH then hits a headbutt and a lariat. Fale goes down big now. JONAH then hits a big slam on Fale, again goes up to the top rope, hits the torpedo splash with the crowd going, oh, for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd's not supposed to talk, but every time JONAH hits that splash, they go wild. The winner of this match by pinfall, the top dog, JONAH. So really stuff here. JONAH's about to be a very rich man wherever he goes, because he is one of the hottest free agents on the entire planet. He could go to the WWE, AEW, New Japan, anywhere in between. Whoever offers the most money, maybe he'll be a free agent and just bank on every big project and on a weekend basis. So alongside JONAH and Konosuke Takeshita are definitely 2 of the hottest free agents in the world right now. So JONAH finishes with a 4-2 record in his first ever G1. Definitely impressed to everyone that it saw him. So there's still a little confusion if JONAH can get a 3-way tie if Archer wins later, but we'll have to wait and see who wins the main event. If Okada wins, then we don't even have to worry about the tiebreaker situations. But if Archer wins, he does hold a win. If Archer wins, obviously he would have beaten Okada, and he already beat JONAH in a countout victory. So JONAH was kind of saying, well, it was only countout. How can that be a tiebreaker? But it seems like JONAH was probably already out, unless this is a no contest. So in the main event, in A block, the monster block, Lance Archer taking on Kazuchika Okada, where the singles record is 5-0 to Okada. So Lance Archer definitely has evolved and gotten way better in his old age here. He's in his mid-40s, but somewhere along the way in the last 5-6 years, maybe even sooner, Lance Archer's really elevated his game. He's added some lucha libre agility spots for a big 6'8", 6'9", 300-pound guy doing that kind of stuff with a 45-year-old wrestling for over 20 years body. So that's pretty wild. It's like Kevin Nash doing like sentons and stuff, like you just don't expect it. But here's Lance Archer doing it in 2022. I used to watch this guy in like 2004 when he was named Lance Hoyt. There was a Hoyt-a-mania thing in TNA, and he was kind of like bland. He wasn't the best. Then he became part of kind of a joke tag team where Lance Archer was bringing out a Guitar Hero. Guitar as part of the Rock and Rave connection with Jimmy Rave. Rest in peace to him, because Jimmy Rave just passed away earlier this year. But to Lance Archer went from that to being pretty serviceable as part of Suzuki Gun and the Elite Death Squad alongside Harry Smith Jr. But holy crap, Lance Archer's now just an animal, an absolute animal. So Okada is going to have his workout cut out for him in this one. Archer comes out with his hood, kind of looking like AJ Styles here with his hood all the way up. Then he puts his back to Okada as Okada makes his entrance. Okada just walks by Archer, who hasn't moved an inch since going in the middle of the ring and turning his back to Okada. Okada's definitely ready for this one, but Archer hasn't moved yet, and I can't wait to see what Archer's first action is going to be. The anticipation was definitely building up, and I was looking forward to see what Archer's first move was going to be. So Okada gets closer, or first he gets to his front side, then Archer doesn't move any, so Okada gets closer and closer till he's only a foot away. Still no movement from Archer. So Okada starts to inch closer, but Archer lifts his head up and choke slams Okada hard to the mat. Okada's already down and hurt. Archer then hits a black hole slam. Shout out to Abyss. Okada's weakened and dazed. This match just started. This is wild. Okada then hits one little weak strike and falls to a knee without Archer even attacking him. Archer does an evil villain laugh here that says Okada can't even fight back already. So Okada hits two more weak shots, but then Archer hits one punch, and holy crap, Okada is hurt. Okada must have come into this match super sore trying to get through this monster block. Now all these big super heavyweight shots from Archer is really affecting Okada, who rolls out of the ring, but Archer goes out to the outside, bashing Okada's head, back of the head into the barricade hard multiple times. Then Archer hits one of the scariest moves I've seen in a long time. I thought Okada was going to die. He put Okada's head into the barricade rungs, in between the two rungs, and then got a huge leaping start. I could see what was coming. Archer goes to do a cannonball senton, and I actually closed my eyes. I did not want to witness Okada die in front of my own eyes. When I saw that Okada was okay, then we got a slow motion replay. We don't get many replays in New Japan, but this was such a devastating move. They showed a slow motion replay. Okada with his head between the rungs of the barricade gets absolutely crushed with a running cannonball senton to his face. Oh, it's just ridiculous because Archer's so big. Oh my God. So Okada is just so massively hurt now. And it's just ridiculous. So Archer then goes for a choke slam, but there's a tiny little bit of life left in Okada. He's able to block it. Okada then hits a few strikes, but Archer slams him down again. Then Archer destroys one of the young lions, Fujita, I think it was, with a big boot. Okada then gets a few seconds to recover, and Lance gets his stamina back. Now they go back in the ring. Archer's still in control. He goes to do the tightrope moonsault thing like the Undertaker with the old school, but this is something Archer likes to do, and he hits it the first time in the entire G1 tour. He's tried to do it maybe 3 or 4 times, but Lance Archer hits the tightrope walk moonsault, and again, it absolutely crushes Okada, who kind of lands neck first. His neck is badly hurt in this match. Okada then hits a Rainmaker in desperation mode here. Okada is in pure desperation mode, hitting a Rainmaker clothesline lariat. And both men are literally down for like 35 seconds at this point. The referee decides not to make it a 10-second draw. So they eventually get up. Okada bought the time he needed. He had that desperation Rainmaker. Of course, he couldn't make the pin, but both men can recover from the big shot. So they get up. Okada blocks a choke slam, but then Okada hits a drop kick. There's still some time left in Okada, or some life left. So Okada's building some momentum, but Archer blocks a body slam. Okada blocks a slam right back, and then Okada slams Archer down with a scoop slam. So Okada now goes up to the top rope, holding his back, but he's able to hit the top rope elbow drop. Okada took so much damage, and he's able to now go back on the attack. This is wild. So Archer then counters a Rainmaker attempt here. Okada gets a roll up for a really close 2 count, almost the end of the match. Archer then hits a outrageous, monstrous Archer hits a drop kick here. It was ridiculous. Archer then hits one of the nastiest Rainmaker clothesline lariats you've ever seen in your life. Archer hits the Rainmaker, destroying the neck of Okada here again. Everyone in the building is going crazy. Bro, that Rainmaker was an all-timer here. Okada somehow kicks out of this. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want his G1 to be over with yet here on the night 1 of a triple header. So Archer then lifts Okada up and hits the blackout here. Archer hits his finisher, the blackout, but Okada just able to turn it into a crucifix pin. Another desperation mode here. Archer almost loses on this desperation crucifix pin out of counter off of his own. He just hit his finisher and was making the pin. So Archer gets out of that. Only 10 minutes have passed. It seems like an hour because of all the damage we've seen. Anyone could win this match at any moment. So it's amazing. You can't take your eyes off the action. Archer then hits a huge corner lariat, sets Okada up on the top rope, but Archer hits a chop and then paintbrushes Okada. That was a mistake because this fires up Okada enough to get out of the blackout attempt. Another blackout would have ended it. So Okada applies his version of the money clip, the one that he beat Fale with, and it's good against big guys, cutting their like trachea down. So Archer is losing air and fading fast here, but Archer goes into desperation mode now and is able to power out. Okada's a little too slow to capitalize with a few seconds spent here, and Archer hits a absolute lariat from hell. JBL would have loved this. Stan the Man Hansen would have loved this. Archer just lariats the hell out of Okada. I thought Okada was done, but Okada counters the next move with a drop kick, hits the landslide in a Rainmaker, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Kazuchika Okada. Holy crap, what was this match we just witnessed? What was this whole event? This was a wild event, crazy event. I couldn't believe what I just witnessed again for like the 4th time tonight. I couldn't believe what I just witnessed. Okada wins the A block, the monster block, with a another superhuman performance. It's not just a gimmick, people. He absorbed about 5 of the top 10 hardest shots the entire G1, all in this match. And Okada probably took another 2 or 3 of the top 10 shots against JONAH not that many days ago or like a week ago. So Okada is just ridiculous. The fact that he was able to take all these things, like I said, on the Cannonball Senton, I had to turn my head away and close my eyes because it was that scary. I didn't want to see a man die in front of me who I like, who I respect a lot in Okada. So it was that scary, that intense. You don't get that very often. The last time I felt that way was like when Brock Lesnar was busting open Randy Orton with straight elbows the hard way. Like I didn't know what was going on then. I was like fearing for his life. So the fact that I feared for Okada's life in this match, the fact that you could see all the things, it's not just a gimmick. When it's a gimmick and everybody kicks out of everything, like a John Cena, oh, you just kick out of everything, that's one thing. But this, we literally saw like the neck of Okada like break 3 or 4 times in this match. And it's just like the maximum impact moves that he was taking and being able to kick out that's the difference. People are going to look at it, oh, it's just kickouts and stuff like that. Did you see the impact of these moves? You still have to be able to kick out. You still have to be conscious in a real life sense to kick out of these things, let alone not have a broken neck and stuff. So hopefully Okada's okay, because I don't want to see anything like that again this tour. And Okada still has a match tomorrow. So in the semifinals, Okada will take on Tama Tonga, who he lost to last year. Okada's going to be looking for revenge against Tama Tonga in the semifinals tomorrow night, who Tama Tonga beat Okada in G1 last year. So holy crap, we got live translations here. So Okada says to the fans, good evening. Thank you all for your support. There's only 2 days left in G1 Climax 32, and I think we can even get hotter still. This isn't all G1 has to offer, and if you don't think you can bring more fire, then you don't qualify as a wrestling fan. The support of you fans and power of the wrestlers had made this one of the best G1s ever, so thank you for y'all's support. Then Okada's music plays. He celebrates in front of his adoring crowd. So what an event. I absolutely love this event. There was so many different things that made this different than all the other ones on this tour, or kind of all the other New Japan shows of the year. So, and it wasn't just the fact that there was no tag matches. It was like some matches were short. Some things were Like people were getting attacked during entrances. All kinds of like just craziness happened tonight, and that really made it stand out from every other New Japan show that we've seen this year. So tomorrow in the double main event as well, it's going to be awesome. A first ever match between Naito and Ospreay, and then Okada against Tonga, who that's going to be a good one as well. So in the back now, Okada says, I'm in a lot of pain now. It's a difficult block, but the fact is that if you win and survive in this environment, it's something to be very proud of. That fist bump in the end with Archer was because he spent a lot of time here, but then he went to America and came back evolved, and that was something to respect. These matches have been different from what we've had in recent years. Now there's 2 matches in a row for the semifinals and finals, and if out of the 4 people in the semifinals, I feel Tonga would have the most to gain. So I plan to beat Tonga, move on to the finals, but it's just one at a time. Thinking about the semis, then move on to the finals. But one more final word from my fans, or the fans, I think he said. This isn't just a case of myself putting everything together because it's the 50th anniversary year. No, I just always wanted to show you that this is who I am. So if you can't bring the heat tomorrow, just stay home in your air conditioning. Now I'll go rest up for tomorrow. Holy crap. So tomorrow is going to be awesome with Okada trying to avenge last year's loss against Tonga. Also, Okada wants to get to the Wrestle Kingdom to get his title back from Jay White, who was disrespecting him and won the title dishonorably and all that. So Okada's very, very damaged going into this match only 24 hours later. But at least Tonga had the do or die match as well. So after a long tournament. So Tonga is not going to be anywhere near close to 100%. That's kind of still even. I mean, Okada was the favorite to win the tournament before the match, before the G1 started. So Okada's still the favorite to win the tournaments, but you just never know. You never know what's going to happen. So it's going to be a great match regardless. Tonga can really prove himself with back-to-back great matches over Jay White and Tonga. And then if Jay White is going to defend the title against Tonga, regardless if it's at Wrestle Kingdom or not. But if Tonga, he's not going to win that match either. But if Tonga say Tonga loses tomorrow to Okada, if he impressed, which he already did in this all of his matches really, but the Jay White one he impressed. If Tama impresses tomorrow against Okada, and in like a 45-minute slow paced match against Jay for the title in the main event at an event at like October, if Tama impresses in that one too, you could be looking at a Tonga world heavyweight title reign in 2023. Mark my words. Those are definitely going to be the tests. If he fails at them, then it's not going to happen. And Tonga is not going to win the title against Jay White in October. But if he is able to impress with a great match in that one, and the crowd still absolutely loves him, which he is one of the most over baby faces on the roster, you might be seeing Tonga with the title, world heavyweight title in 2022. But the other match, don't forget, is a first time ever affair between 2 of the best wrestlers in the planet, Tetsuya Naito and Will Ospreay. I mean, Will Ospreay is definitely better right now. Naito's got his terrible knees and is it just turned 40. We never know if this could be this. I mean, I don't want to say it, but this could be the final Naito G1 match as well. So just you never know what could happen. Naito has said in the past he doesn't want to wrestle much past his 40s. He does have bad knees, so just keep that in mind tomorrow when Will Ospreay and Naito fight. That if Ospreay wins, it could. I'm not saying it will be, and I'm not saying it's a good chance, but it could be Naito's final G1 match. You never know. So I'm gonna. I'll get out the I do separate videos for the backstage comments in case you're not the type of person that likes to read all the subtitles, but I also condense it into about half the time. So look for that before tomorrow's G1 event. I'll be trying to get that out. It's the G1 backstage comments. Other than that, I will be here, of course, live after tomorrow's event. We'll find out what happens in the semifinals, who goes on to the finals. We also have no clue what any of the other cards are, what is going to look like. We don't know any of the other matches tomorrow. So also on Thursday when it's the finals, I'm sure we're going to get some big surprises as well. Maybe like a Hikuleo coming back in, or like some of the junior heavyweights. So you never know what we're going to see on the final day. one random thing before I go is don't forget, but we set up a new junior heavyweight tag team where 6 to 9 broke up, and it's amicably, like they're still friends, but it's going to be Master Wato and Alex Zane as a junior heavyweight tag team from now on. So Taguchi is now doesn't have a partner anymore, so they're still friendly, but it looks like whenever they can, it's going to be Master Wato and Alex Zane. So that's why I bring that up, because you never know what kind of people we're going to see on the final night. Tomorrow it's probably going to be like an all-star cast of all the people that were in G1, and like maybe some big 10-man tags as well, trying to get like some of the units together and stuff like that. Maybe like, I don't know what to expect. It's not even going to be announced until later. So I'm going to get going. Really great stuff tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day. I'll be back with those backstage comments. Hopefully, I'm going to try my best, because I'm still covering NXT and AEW as well. So I'll have 4 videos to put out tomorrow. Nothing out of the ordinary. So I'll just enjoy it. It's G1, baby. So I'll be here tomorrow for the semis. Enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.